Thank you so much for stopping in. This is the transmission I have for you today. Humanity is saying something is not right. The energy is a little rocky, a little bumpy. There seems to be no clear sense of how to move forward, almost as a thought that you don't matter anyway. The elite controllers act like they are oppressed. They take liberties across the spectrums of day-to-day activities with entitlement. You are told the minority is the majority. This is a marker in time. The pressures of anxiety of what next has descended upon the earth realm. Those who look for freedom are pressed the most. The pressure increases the feelings of fear, of wanting to suspend activities, and a great amount of lack of clear awareness, establishing a refusal to act. Remember, energies are stacking. Adding to the pressure is financial neediness and distress. The downtrodden energy is giving more time to think about deep unhappiness, regret, and guilt, aside from the constant chaos. Even though the pressures, the elite controllers, and the chaos is artificial, you are within the growth of new era energies and the universal directive that is not changed. The aggressions is brewing. The aggressions is brewing to make other reveals happen. The frustration and pressures have pushed aside the irrational emotional responses in order to begin to see a more concrete way to move forward, where you are open to find a better way to get your point across, get your project back on track, and ultimately strategize how you can successfully move forward while also watching your steps, being cautious of your steps so you maintain your balance. Push, pull, cascading, sliding, slipping, stacking. Consider that this is a time for action, a time for awakening. Step away from apathy. Take decisions into your own hands and begin to act. Focus on seeing the warmth and spiritual support that is available to find solutions and looking to recovery and improvement. There is light at the end of the tunnel. A tunnel or a funnel, humanity and the earth realm will go through to get to the other side. There are many of these cycles remaining for you to go through. You are at a marker in time. That's where the transmission ends. That's the end of the transmission. This is pretty gloomy. In a sense, it's pretty gloomy. You know, in another sense, it is. They are telling us that we have to go through this. You know, they mentioned the tunnel and the funnel. We have to go through this. because it is a universal movement that we're going through. A movement, they said, that is not changed. We go through it. We're moving we're moving and having different influences come to us that we have to experience and learn from, I'm thinking. And they do want us to keep our heads up. They want us to keep our heads up and don't get bogged down. I mean, what happened this last weekend, again, can get people bogged down. Things that happen every single day can get anyone bogged down in the emotional response. And that is how the chaos continues, so that we can't focus on what we need to focus on. I think we have to remember that we are part of a divine universal directive. I mean, it told us that again in this transmission. We are part of a divine universal directive. And even though we may not feel like we are protected or supported, we are protected and we are supported. We just have to maintain, maintain. We just need to stay positive, but we also need to stay cautious. We need to be positive. We need to be cautious. We need to be aware of what's going on, but not get wrapped up in the emotional response. I had to take a sip of water, sorry. I guess this is kind of a status report. That's probably what I'll call it. And interestingly enough, they said this is a marker in time. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for stopping in. Please like my videos. It makes me know that you're watching. And also, if you know anybody that could use these messages, please forward the messages to them. We are in a very unusual time for us, but it's also a very important time that my universal sources has introduced to us and are giving us some perspective on what it is that we really need to know and what we really need to focus on. That's what's important to us. That's what's important to these messages. You have to admit that we have been told ahead of time what's going on. I know my messages are these little tiny things in the whole scheme of things, but these are really, really important messages. And I honestly really want as many people to hear this as possible. And I'm so happy you're here with me. So thank you for stopping in. And please stay tuned because there is a lot more to come.